Okay, I'm going to try to fly through this really fast so that it's not a 5-minute long question. So, short story, we adopted the third dog that was unplanned. In her history, she was found on the streets. Then she went to a home that the lady worked a lot of hours, and so she was kenneled for 9 hours a day. And then she was let out for a short period and then kenneled again at night. When she was let out on a pinch collar. The only thing that they trained with reinforcement was a lure to get her into the crate, and outside of that, everything else was the pinch. And so she had reactivity challenges. They answered that with suppression. As she had resource guarding challenges, they answered that with suppression as well. You know, she pulled on leash, they answered that with suppression. So we have a slew of health problems. They did not take her to the vet at all, and those things just kept stacking. So she's a very uncomfortable dog, and she has a lot of emotional things that we're working through. Thanks to you guys, she's flying through the resource guarding, confidence building. She's flying through the reactivity. Honestly, she's a lovely dog. But when she's uncomfortable, my assumption is because she was answered with suppression when she was uncomfortable. I know, you know, like the only thing that they didn't, to my understanding, is her husbandry. So she will bite over nail clippers or, you know, anything really. Brushing her was difficult. She's flying through confidence building with that now too. That's one of the things that we're working on. She, her nails were so bad that her toes were splayed and she couldn't walk properly. She walks a lot better now. Of course, you know, she's got much better nails now. Everything's a work in progress, but just so you're aware, she's still very uncomfortable. And so we're still working on all of these things. It's been about 7 weeks since she's been on the prong collar. So my question is, I don't have much experience with aversive tools. I have never used one myself. I do bite work. We don't do it with aversive tools. I've taken classes along people that do, though, and so that's kind of the extent of my experience. I know that there's a way to use them intentionally. I don't think that the owners did, and so whenever is uncomfortable, I'm struggling to connect the antecedents, because I believe with her history of suppression, she is not comfortable expressing herself, and so I don't get a growl or anything. The only warning that I've caught is a millisecond of a freeze, and then it's straight to the bite. And when I say it's like a millisecond of a freeze, it's not long enough for my brain to process it until after the fact. And she is showing bite inhibition. I'm not really worried about the bites themselves. I just want her to be comfortable and continue growing confidence. But my question is, if there's anyone that's in here that has had experience with dogs with a history of suppression, if you have any tips for me to maybe grow confidence with her, being able to express herself so that I can figure out the antecedents a lot quicker, that would be so super helpful. So if you made it to this far in the video, thank you so much. I'm going to cut it right now so it's not too long.